Hi, welcome to Sheepish, episode 35. Today is Sunday, April 6, 2014, and I'm Holly. So, how is everybody? It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me. I tried recording the week before last, and that just didn't happen. You know how I said it's been crazy busy at work? It's still crazy busy at work. It's a little less crazy busy than before, but it's still. And then last weekend was my friend's wedding, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to record that week. I was in no fit shape to record that week, quite honestly. So it's the first recording in April. Yay! And you know what that means? It means that we get to draw for the March Socks thread. And yes, I do have stuff ready to go out for the last time I pulled names. Like I said, crazy busy. Um, I don't know what my camera's doing. I've noticed that it's just kind of jumping, like freezing and jumping. I don't know if it's actually recording that little bit and it's just my computer catching up. I'm sorry if there are any jumps in this. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Alrighty. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll draw for that right now, just simply because why not? I was going to do it at the end, but hey. So, let me make this smaller so I can actually see on here. And, oh, again, let me prep myself and go into the iPad so I can show you guys because I'm never prepared for this. I do this every month. You would think that I'd be prepared. Um, sucks. Okay. So we had 26 people enter, or we had 26 posts, right? Or was it 25 or 26? No. Holy cow, it's 23 posts. Yeah. So, and obviously the first post was mine. So, let's see. Can you see it? Yay! It focused, sort of, and then went away. It's 2 to 23. Okay, focus. There we go. So let's see who our winner is. Post 22. Let's see. And the winner is OLVS, Olves. So let me go on here for a second. And that's Kylie from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. And then that, sorry, is the picture of her socks and her fur baby. I'm going to make that a little bigger so maybe you can see that a little better. Awesome. So Kylie, please get in touch with me, PM me, send me your all of your information so I can mail that out to you because obviously I can't do that one in person. Um, Send me all of your information and what your favorite colors are, and I will find something to send. So congratulations. Thank you. Awesome. So yeah, that's very cool. I need to write that down. OLVS. So March. And I'm looking back, so I'm writing it on the same piece of paper that I did the last drawings on. And apparently in February, 22 was the magic number as well. That's kind of cool. Kind of weird, but kind of cool. Sorry about my hair. It's kind of flopping and yeah. It's still somewhat wet from from the shower and yeah. Oh well. So anyway, I'll just stick it back there. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with the current roster. So yeah, currently I have got, whoa, let's see, there we go. My setup is different. I'm somewhat in the same place that I was last time, but I'm a little off center where I was, and while it makes no difference to you guys because you guys can see me there, It's a little different. I can't have a table over here like I did, and there's really no room here because I've added a shelving unit in this area. So I'm trying to get my bearings around that. So I'm still working, almost done though, on the Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey cowl, also known as Albers. And then this is my last square. This is my Matt Smith square. So I am doing this in the colors of the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctors. So just to recap, the center is Miss Babs' Yummy Toes in Ansel, named after Ansel Adams. This is Neighborhood Fiber Company in, do I have the thing? Yes. Neighborhood Fiber Company Studio Sock in Druid Hill. This is Unknown Red that I purchased at Looped in DC. I don't know. It could be Dragonfly Fibers. I'm not sure though. I don't think it is. And then the purple is also Neighborhood Fiber Company Studio Sock in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So that's almost done. I actually could have gotten it done yesterday, but I really wanted to have it as a whip. I don't know why. But I plan on getting this done today, tonight, hopefully. And I will finish weaving in the ends. I've actually gotten most of my ends woven in because I've been weaving them or knitting them in. So I've been using the technique of weaving in your ends while you knit and garter stitch. And that's something I think I'm going to probably do a tutorial on. I don't know. I've got the yarn for it. We'll see. But yeah, so that's that. So when that's done, I will block all of my squares. So just as review, this is my Christopher Eccleston square. And my David Tennant square. Kind of a little wonky, but you know, they're mine and they make me happy. So yeah, so once I do that, I'll go ahead and I'll soak them, I'll wash and block them, and then pin them out, and then sew them all together. So there's that. And then I decided, so remember how last time I was talking about how I was thinking about doing a granny square blanket out of the yarns that I've been getting from Snapshots from Maine Yarn Club. Wow, words, hard today. Well, I started. So I pulled out January's colorway, Immutable, and I've got one big granny square started. Now, one thing about crochet that since I never do it enough, and really this is about the farthest I've gotten on a granny square in a very long time, is that the way that I hold the hook, I don't know, it hurts my hands after a while. So I can only do a few things. Like my goal when I sit down with this is to knit or to crochet an entire round. That doesn't always happen. I try though. And this is what I have left of the ball. Isn't it luscious? Yes, and it's hand wound. I had been toting it around with me in my bag, in my purse for a few days, and yeah, I finally just put it around a couple chairs actually in my office, and just hand wound it because I needed some de-stressing, and that was perfect. So yeah, this is the Immutable colorway. It's beautiful. And for those of you who don't remember when I first showed this, this is the January Snapshots from Maine Yarn Club. It's the worsted weight. It's her worsted. It is it a red ash? Great. I forget which base it is. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. Yeah. And this is representing the Iron Mill at Katahdin Iron Works. So, yay! So I'm pretty happy with this. I still don't know if I'm going to do the February in the as a separate granny square, if I'm just going to keep adding on. We'll see. I like the idea of adding on and just having another, like a few rounds of a different color and kind of going out, but I realize that's going to make a huge blanket. Like it might make a car cozy. I don't know. But it's beautiful and I'm happy I got started with it. I love working with it. The yarn is phenomenal. So there is that. And let's see what else. So in my Slip Stitch Studios bag is not necessarily what you think. It's the toe of a sock. Yay! So I pulled out my Knitter's Nightmare. Thank you for being a friend. And this is one of those skeins that Sadie was selling as screwed up. I don't know where the tag went, but okay. I've actually knit through all three colors in this. I've not seen anything screwed up in those. But you know, I was actually attempting to work on a new design. I have a very, I have a slight cable, like a cable-y design in my head, and I'm committing it to paper. And I basically crowdsourced a few ideas the other day. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post a picture of this sock a bit farther along. Excuse me, itchy. A bit farther along with some cables that were barely visible. So I crowdsourced on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter. And everybody said, do the cables for the back loop. So now I'm at the point where I need to decide if I just want to do these as plain stockinette socks or if I want to go ahead and try and get the cables in there and situated. I don't know. I honestly don't know. These are my April socks in the unofficial 12 pairs of socks. And yeah, Operation Sock Drawer. I don't know. We'll see. I need to make a decision soon because stockinette stitch socks will be nice to have on the needles and just that way I can pull them out whenever. I'm really kind of really itching to get a design out there again. So we'll see. So yeah, that's, oh no, I did say that I was going to start adding in stick handling. Whoops. Excuse me, sorry about that. I did say I was going to start adding stick handling into the current roster. And so, yeah, I pulled out my drop spindle. This is a drop spindle. I forget how heavy this is, but this is from, it's one that I picked up at the Highlands on the Fly retreat. So it's by Highland Handmaids. Heather's husband, Paul, made this. And the fiber is the small little samples of Into the World in the Viola colorways. And it's 100% Polworth. And it's lovely. It really is. I don't know where my end just, oh, there it is. So I don't know if you can kind of see that, but that's fairly fine for me, at least with spindle spinning, that is. So I'm kind of proud of that. So I finished the first half, or I have two of these because I traded Michelle, because these were gifties. These were in our gift bags, and so I traded Michelle the mini skein of Solar Flare fibers in the Julia colorway because I have a full skein of that for her skein, or for her little baggie of Into the World. So yay! So that's making some good progress. I've just kind of been picking this up and putting it down whenever I get a little bit of a chance to. I'm not really focused on it. But yeah. And so then also, yeah, something new spindle. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this, let's see if we can get that. Oh, there we go. These are, this is from this bunch. So this is Gourmet Stash that I picked up a long time ago that I ordered. And these are the white marble hand-carded poonies. And you can, because it looks like marble. And this is 70%, 76% superfine merino wool, 12% alpaca, and 12% silk. Yeah, I got a new spindle, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I decided that I needed to pull some pooties out of stash and start working on them. And they're lovely. They're soft. Holy crap, they're soft. And yeah, so I've been having a great time with this. The idea of this is what basically spurred me back into trying to spindle spin again. Okay, this is really not going to. There we go. So it's a little thick and thin, not too bad either way. Yeah, so these are lovely. These go in the drawer right there, or the bin right there. And I even pulled out my wheel. I pulled out the bug to work on her a little bit this week. She lives in the closet there. And when she's not in sight, I don't work on her as much. I really need to do that. So I'm still working my way through, again, Gourmet Stash. I have a love affair with Kate right now. It's awesome. In the Fibery Tribbles in the Undisclosed Emerald Desires colorway, which is a combination, why can't I remember it? Merino, alpaca, stellina, or maybe it's Firestar, I don't know. With one of the sparkles. And I think there's silk in here. I forget. But yeah. I have it listed in a bunch of others. So I actually got 2 more of these tribbles done. I really, again, just need to sit down and get more done out of those. When I did the majority of these, I finished up the second 2 ounces, because this is my third 2 ounces. So I finished up the second 2 ounces and the first part of this while just watching a marathon of Call the Midwife. I put in the Blu-ray and just kind of kept going. So, yeah. So that brings us to the alumni roster. I know there's something to go on the alumni roster. And of course, my sock blockers are down there. So hang on a sec, I'm going out of frame. And let me grab, and again, now you get the extreme close-up. You would think that after doing 35 of these, I would know how, I would actually be prepared, but no. You guys can pretty much figure out what these are, though, because it's the one thing that didn't show up on the current roster. My monkey socks are done. That's kind of fabulous. So yeah, they're done. These are done out of Unwind Yarn Company's Journey Sock. This is how much I had left in the watercolor or Water Lilies colorway. Wow. Water Lilies colorway. And this was a club colorway from the Two Crafty Girls Yarn Club. Just no more. But yeah, I've still got this much left. It's, you know, I got small feet. And these are actually taller than I normally go. These are knit 2 pattern with the exception of the cuffs. The cuffs I actually doubled. I doubled the length of. But yeah. So, and I'm kind of, you know, they're kind of snug. They do take a little bit of tugging to get on. They have not been washed. Just because I was lazy. You know, as you do. But they're done. I was actually working on these in line at the homespun yarn party, and I will talk more about that in a little bit. So while I was waiting to get in, and I had a lovely conversation with 2 women who were just like, "Oh my goodness, what yarn is this?" And I told them, and I was there. And as soon as I told them what the pattern was, they were like, "Oh my God, I've knit those. I should recognize those." It was great. So they're done. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So my March socks, and this became an unofficial year of socks for me. We'll see how far that goes. I mean, it helps that I had 2 pairs of socks on the needles already at the beginning of the year, so yeah. Hi, focus. There we go. So that brings me to the to the scouting report. Actually, it's not that bad. So 2 Sundays ago, on the 23rd, that sounds about right. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's the 23rd. So Sunday the 23rd was the Homespun Yarn Party, and that is held by a lot of local vendors in up in Savage, Maryland, which I had no clue. I know I've driven past it on 95 before, but yeah, never actually stopped. At the old Savage Mill. And I'd never been before. And honestly, it was a long way to drive. And I had to figure out where to park. But I basically went up there for 2 reasons. Kate from Gourmet Stash, and the fact that Vanessa from Vintage Rose was going to be out there vending with her and having her stuff in Kate's booth. I honestly could not resist at that point. I wanted to go for Kate, and then I heard Vanessa, and I'm like, I have to be there. I have to meet them both. I mean, I've met Kate before, briefly at Fiberspace, but yeah. So I did. I went. And I'm happy I went. I got to see people that I hadn't seen in a while. So that was nice. And I actually was fairly well behaved. So first up, well, really my first stop was the Gourmet Stash booth, because I really, sorry about all the crinkling, I really, wanted to make sure that I was going to get something. And again, if you would think, yeah. So I got there. Again, sorry for all the crinkling. And I saw these gorgeous, gorgeous poonies that were just hanging there. And then I saw the name. Oh, come on. Focus. There we go. If Jem were a misfit. I know! My little inner child started to squeak. So it is Merino, Superwash Merino, Yak Silk, Bamboo, Sari Silk, and Angelina. Yeah. Okay, and Kate wraps these in such a way that I'm like, it's just artistic. I don't understand. Oh, whoops. Let's not lose any of the poonies. Oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. So you can see that they're mostly black. They've got lots of purple and silver. And the sari silk, there's some colors. You've got some shots of teal in there and a couple shots of gold. And silver Angelina and some pink. Gem of the holograms. So if Gem were a misfit. So I guess Gem of the Misfits. So yeah, I saw that and I had to have that. I'm going to put this and the card so I don't lose it over here. Whoops. Yeah. And then I fell down, went boom. Hard. because I wanted to see. She had put on Facebook, I think Kate had put on Facebook that she had the Scottish Heritage Collection and she was going to have them at Homespun Yarn Party. So this is 4+ ounces of what's under a kilt. So I had to have that just because of the name, honestly. And then I'm just going to pull one of these out because it's a mega triple. Holy crap, I had to have this anyway. And then when you look and see what's in it, I was still going back and forth, and the guy who was in front of me, we were talking about it, and he grabbed one because we were just like, this has Kivyat in it. This is making me so happy. So it's 4.5 ounces of Kivyat Cloud, alpaca, merino, and bamboo. What's under a kilt? So there is that. But I was greedy. I could have been nice and just taken the one. But no, I had to have two. And this one is 4 5/8 ounces. How awesomely decadent. So there was that. And then I got, Vanessa has these stitch marker pendants, and I actually added 3 of my own, 3 of my Doctor Who ones. But you get a little bit of yarn on there, a leaf, and I got the antique silver kind. So I got that, and I also got a bracelet, which I believe I left in the office because I was wearing it. I've been wearing it a lot lately, and I'll fiddle with it, and then I will slip it on and off, and it's on my desk at work. So yeah. And I got to meet Vanessa, and I got to meet Kate, and it was awesome. Yeah, heart, big old heart. And once that was done, I was able to just kind of look around. I had no intention of really buying anything else, but I was looking around, walking around slowly. And then I hit Dragonfly Fibers. Fall down, go boom. Can you see the lusciousness? It is their Sea Monster Roving, which is a 50% silk, 30% wool, and 20% sea cell in a 4-ounce braid, and it's the firecracker colorway. Because I was looking, and then I saw this, and this was the only one of this. And I just immediately went into Gollum at that point. I was like, I must has the pretties. And when they got it off the thing for me, I was just like, mine, my pretties. Yes, I made a fool of myself in public. Have we met? So yeah, after that, I was really good. I found friends, I talked to them for a while, and then I left. Well, while I was talking to friends, I was talking to some friends and catching up. One of the volunteers, excuse me, tea. It's what's for breakfast. One of the volunteers was walking around spindle spinning on a drop spin, well, obviously on a drop spindle. Well, not obviously, but you know, on a low whirl drop spindle. And it was one that's actually a convertible one, so it could go either way, high or low whirl, which I thought was really kind of cool. And I was just watching her spin for a while. She was just standing there talking to us, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, I kind of want that. And she told me exactly where to go, but I was just like, no, I've hit my limit. I have socialized. I really shouldn't spend any more money. So I didn't. I walked out of Savage Mill. On my way to the car, though, I started looking up the seller on Etsy. And where is the tag? Because, sorry if you heard that. That's somebody on a motorcycle who's enjoying the day. So the spindle was from Kate's Cauldron. And I immediately looked her up as yeah. I got in the car. I hadn't even started it. And I ordered a spindle. So I ordered this. So this is a low whirl spindle. And it's got this really cool detail of this little pigtail that goes up. So that way you don't need to half hitch it. It works instead of having a hook. And I really, really like it. Now, I've got this really well spread out, this cup really well spread out. Do I know if that's okay? No. I'm just kind of going with it. But I was just so excited that I had found this, and I was going to wait for it, obviously, because I wasn't walking back in there. You couldn't pay me enough to walk back in there. I kind of had my fill. When I'm in a big crowd of people, I kind of get overwhelmed. And for somebody who sits in front of a camera and talks to you guys, I'm kind of shy at the same time. Yeah. And the room that they were in was like, I guess, the grand room, whatever. But it was packed. Like, it wasn't like everybody could go in. You had a line waiting for people to exit out, and then people would go in. But it was just packed. So I kind of needed to go out and not go back. So that's why I ordered this online. Thank goodness for smartphones. So because I had ordered this, when I got home, I then pulled out this spindle and I started working with it. And I'm happy that I did. So I've got a couple things going on. I'm really loving the drop spindle. I'm finding that I have to wind on a lot sooner because this is much longer and it gets closer to the ground so much quicker. But I really, really like it. I probably would have taken to spindle spinning a lot quicker if I had started with a low whirl spindle. I'm thinking. Who knows? But yeah, and it's really lightweight, so I'm spinning fairly fine. And I need to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. So that's going back there. Yeah, that wasn't the only thing. Well, I mean, that was the only thing I bought that day. Then I think it was either like a couple days later on the Book of Faces. Because I follow Gourmet Stash on Facebook. And Kate had posted that she was putting up a very mini update with some of the stuff that was left over from Homespun Yarn Party. So I went to look, because why not? I got the obligatory box of chocolates, and Kate was wonderful when she sent this, because apparently she ran out of chocolate ribbon and wondered if the cranberry was okay. It's perfect. I would never have known. And I watch Emily's podcast, because I know that Emily from Fibertown had some of these that she was giving away. I would never have known. And not that Kate watches this, but oh my God, I hurt you so much. Yeah, the obligatory box of chocolates. So I think that, like, the mint chocolate the raspberry chocolate, and I'm assuming the caramel chocolate. And these have got, yeah, so limited edition, obligatory box of chocolates. That's what this says too. And they are lovely. They are so very lovely and fluffy. And oh, they're going to stay in their little box. And then I didn't see these in the booth, and I probably because I was like, I can't look too much longer because there was a long line waiting to get in. But I had seen somebody, either somebody podcasted about it or put it on a blog or something. This is the her anniversary colorway, and I don't know where that card went. Oh, sorry. Oh, there it is. So the hand-carded Luxe Poonies, which is the limited edition anniversary colorway called A Bit of the Bubbly. And you might be able to see why. Oh, I'm sorry, I just, oh, again, luscious. Oops. Okay, really? You would think this is the first time I'd ever done this. So, this is an ounce of 50% superfine merino wool, 19% silk, 15% brown cashmere, 10% 15.3 micron cashmere, 5% bamboo, and 1% gold iris angelina. They're so soft. So yes, I fell down, went boom. Sorry for all the crinkling. But there's also one more thing. Just one more. And that is I got my Highlands on the, or not my Highlands on the Fly, my Snapshots of Maine, March color. And if you have not gotten yours, everybody should have gotten them by now. But I got it earlier this week. Like that. But if you've not gotten yours, look away. If you have, or if you just don't care about being spoiled, here we go. And this is coming out really blue, but it's a green. It's like a soft green. And the colorway is bean green. And again, I had oh, there it is, the postcard. So if you've never been to LL Bean, they are in Freeport, Maine. Their original store, which is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is in Freeport, Maine. I actually worked for them back in 2000. In 2000. I was sent up to Maine. I lived there for a few months. I'm trained at the original store before we brought them down to this area. So I have a place in my heart always for LL Bean. And the LL Bean color is green. So this is on the Black Ash Worsted, which is a 60% merino, 40% bamboo, and it's about 300 yards. Excuse me. So the bamboo is what's making this so very light and shiny. But I can't wait to work with this. It's beautiful. It's soft. So very soft. So this is, and getting down to driving down to Freeport from Heather's neck of the woods is a pretty long drive, but kind of awesome. So So very much looking forward to that. So there is that. And there's one more thing. Um, so the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery had a kit for, or no, the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery put out a new sampler. Excuse me, I've got fiber in my nose now from all the snuggling I did. For their tea time. Yeah, the tea time pattern that they just put out. And the Cottage Needle, where I've been getting a lot of my stuff and love them. They're in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and they're on Etsy. Had a listing for a kit for it. Yes, I got it. So there is that, and I also got a new thread organizer. So this is Sugarloaf, who is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's mascot. And on the back, got thread, cottageneedle.com. They are so very nice to work with. So yeah, that is the enhancement. That is the scouting roster. So I guess that brings us to what's making me happy this week. Well, again, if you were on Instagram and you follow me, you saw that last weekend, not only was it my friend's wedding, but I got to see my best friend again. And yeah, that made me very, very happy. And the fact that the three of us, the bride, me, and her, have plans. We're going to see each other the second weekend in June anyway, but the first weekend in June, I'm not teaching. So I think we're going to go up to Pittsburgh, crash at our friend's house up there, and just kind of explore and have a girls' weekend. So, yay. So that's making me happy. Also, I'm going to meet up with Michelle this evening and have dinner with her. And it's been a while since I've been able to sit down with her and hang out. And so that's making me very happy too. Yeah, hockey not so much making me happy. I mean, the Caps love to break my heart. They're just doing it earlier and earlier this year. We're still fighting for a wild card spot so we can make the playoffs. Honestly, I don't think we're going to get it. Although we did win yesterday in a shootout. But yeah. It's one of those things that I've, they do this to me every year. They just generally choke in the playoffs. It's been 6 years since they haven't made the playoffs. So we'll see. Also, what's making me happy is this new shelving system that you can't see right here. I finally got fed up yesterday and yeah, decided that I needed to clear some of the clutter around my workstation. Basically, my computer, my desktop sits on a folding table. Because, we don't have room for a desk for this right now. And I had kind of everything stashed in and around and underneath. So I finally decided I needed something to put things on. Well, to really put my printer on. Because for some reason, my desktop will not speak to the wireless printer in the house. My phones will. My iPad will. My computer, no. So I pulled out my old printer and it was sitting on, and again, if you follow me on Instagram, the last time I worked from home, I took a picture of it. It's like an aerobic step. It's not getting used for what it's meant for, so it was being used for that. Well, I got tired of it being in the middle of the floor, basically. So I decided I was going to get some shelving and, excuse me, fiber in the nose and build it. Oh, it's not as bad. But those scratches, those are all from yesterday when I was building the first set of shelves. Yeah, all of the holes were drilled in crookedly, so nothing was stable. So when I put some weight on it, I went forward and so did that. And yeah, broke and yeah. So I returned that, got this, and it's a taller unit. It's much more stable. Had no problems putting it together while I watched the hockey game last night. Yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, early evening. So there is that. Oh, and I forgot to add into the current roster. I got the April Once Upon a Time stitch along piece. And you might be able to tell that that's a bear. And that's the foot of a bed. Goldilocks. So I got started on it. I've gotten a slow start just for various reasons. I got a slow start on this. And I actually had to rip out, like I had started here, worked my way up, got started with the face, got all the way up to the ear, and I'd only done about half of this. So I gotten up to the ear and realized I'm a whole space off. And realized that because this actually goes over 2 pages. And so like I saw this and I didn't see this. So I thought that they lined up. They didn't. So I ripped all that back, redid it, did this side as well. So I've gotten a good start on Mama Bear. So there is that. And that's also making me happy because, it creates some sanity. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for giving me a shot. And if you are a returning viewer, you know I love you. You know I love you so hard. Thank you. Don't forget to leave iTunes reviews or star ratings so that way people can find me. So if you like me and you think that others might, I definitely would appreciate that. And like I said, like I did last time, I love the people who, thank you for leaving me a review or a rating or subscribing on YouTube. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to check out the show notes on the blog, sheepishpodcast.com, because I do occasionally I do include things there in the show notes. Like like 5-6 episodes ago, I actually included a YouTube video of something that was making me very, very happy. So definitely remember to check those out. If and when I do tutorials, which I really do need to do. And if I do the one that I'm going to post it on the blog, I'm actually going to create a page just for those. And I don't know, do you want to see something like that come through your podcast feed? If you're using Downcast or the iTunes podcast app, or because it'll go on YouTube, obviously. But would you want to see something like that come through your feed? I don't want to just push it through if you're not interested in it. I don't know. So let me know. Let me know what you think. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Keep spinning, knitting, and stitching. Bye.